Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Princess. In this video, we'll be looking at the need to get knowledge, the need to be informed about the issues of child sexual abuse. You cannot take this lightly as a parent, as a guardian, or as one who gives care to children, either a teacher, a daycare center, and a company who have children come around them, like cinemas. It's vital that you know what is going on. We all know we live in a hypersexualized world, and we cannot fold our hands and expect magic to happen or just pray that our children are safe and not take any action. And the first action to take is to get informed. You have to know what is sexual abuse of children. What are the ways this can happen? There is conscious and unconscious, which means you are aware that you are abusing a child or you are not even aware. So it happens. Like, for example, watching a movie. Movies have ratings, but we find ourselves, even when they say a movie is family, sometimes it's not okay for a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7-year-old. Some movies will say 13 and above. But sometimes you look at that movie and you know that, no, a 13 shouldn't even watch it. So before we expose our children to certain movies, we'll need to have tried to see them. And games, video games, you need to know what that particular video game contains before you expose your child to the use of it. The majority of us as parents, are more focused on our income, on how we earn, so we can take care of them. But at the end of the day, there's so many gaps left where we're not giving enough attention to preventing our children. And what makes it worse, we don't ever get to know that something happened. Now, I'm telling you, as a survivor of child sexual abuse, no, yes, of course, my parents eventually discovered one, but there were many that we never had a conversation around, and I never opened up to them about it. I didn't open to many people till I was an adult. And so and this is not just for me, for survivors. Some of you are looking at me, yes, that happened to you, and you never said it to anybody, and today you are parents. And so we need to prevent, because of the consequences of abuse on the adults the child will become. We do not want damaged people. It's better to prevent. And like Praise Forward says, it says the family is the first nation, is a nation, and the engine room, factory and room of the productivity. So if you were not able to keep the family okay, it affects the outcome of the nation. Now, what exactly do you need to know? I mentioned earlier, what is sexual abuse of children? Who can abuse them? How do I keep my child safe? Now we have internet and access is more easy today. How do I make sure they are safe online? Because we also have online child sexual exploitation. So when we begin to look at this critically, and then we want to know what are warning signs, how do we know if our child also has problematic sexual behavior? How do we understand the sexual development of our children? Now, we're not talking about until they get to preteens, when adolescence starts. We're talking about even when they're growing. From the womb, a child is already sexual. And that they are sexual beings, which means if you tickle somebody, they tickle. And sometimes when abuse happens, some children feel it's their fault because they enjoyed it. And that's why we are careful about good touch, bad touch. Because a bad touch can feel good. It's a wake-up time for us as parents. And it's a wake-up time. You can't stay ignorant. And you can't stay religious. Because that is not going to keep your children safe. you need to understand a lot of factors. In 2000, the World Health Organization declared child sexual abuse a public health epidemic globally. So it's not peculiar to a particular country or a particular culture. It cuts across the entire globe. You also want to know that in 2004, the African Office of WHO declared it a silent epidemic because many children were being infected with HIV through sex. 1 in 3 girls will be sexually abused before attaining 18, and 1 in 6 boys. It's a huge figure that we cannot stay aloof, that I'm not going to do anything about it. We are okay within my own house, and really, you're not. There is no home that is safe from sexual abuse. And that is why it has to be an intentional, act to want to keep your own home and children safe. Okay, I hope you got a few points from what I shared today. And we'll be looking, at more things in other videos. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you learn one or two things. Please do share some comments so I will respond to them. I assure you I will, because I really want us to keep our children safe. It's important to me. Yeah, as one of my life missions. Okay, so do not forget to like, and do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so you can receive alerts as more videos are released. Thank you very much. Bye.